Welcome back to this week's episode of Embrace Your Uniqueness. My name's Isaac Merz, and this week I want to talk about our past, how we can let it go, moving forward from it, learning from the mistakes that we made, using the past to strengthen our present and take us to a brighter future. We have to become brave enough to challenge ourselves. We have to become bold when sharing our special story. We all have something special inside. Are we willing and able to make the stand and say, yes, this is the life that's worth fighting for? I want to thank you guys so much for subscribing to this channel, tuning into this channel, liking the videos, adding your comments and your thoughts. I really appreciate it. It's wonderful to see this grow. Embrace Your Uniqueness is for you. It's all about all of us trying to find ways for better self-understanding, self-acceptance, self-love, and creating that growth-minded mindset that we need to move forward in this world in a positive way and reach our dreams and our goals. And it does all start with your self-development, your relationship with yourself. And one of those relationships I want to talk to you about today is the past. This came to me, the idea for this video came to me because I was walking my dog through the neighborhood and I just had one of those moments. And I don't know, I'm sure maybe you can relate to this. One of those times where you're walking and you're just kind of like letting yourself go. And next thing you know, you're like flashbacked into some time in your past where you are reliving a mistake or something that you wish you didn't do or a relationship that went wrong. And it swells up inside of you, and that feeling, that energy just like consumes you. It's like watching a movie, like the intensity's there, the lights are there, like your smells are all there, everything to the finer details are all recreated, and you live that experience and it just hurts just as much as it did, and you feel like a loser, you feel down on yourself, or you second guess all your choices, and it just gets all tangled up. And I just realized in that moment when I was having that, I was like, wait a minute, stop. I am not that person anymore. I can let that go. I can use the lessons from that experience to move forward in this world. And that's what's triggered this video today. How can we use our past, and how can we find time to quiet our minds enough from the daily distractions of the life to revisit the past so we can make sure we're using it in a constructive way? I think now more than ever in today's life, we are constantly bombarded with distractions and anything and everything to just keep us out of the focus of learning about ourselves. I just did a video last week about how I decided to quit social media, and that was because I wanted to just simplify the distractions in my life. And one of the major distractions we have is always logging on, always being logged on to these various platforms that are just taking and feeding us all this random information. And it is such a great way to not live in your life, is to observe every other person's life and to judge other people instead of taking that accountability, which is so important to your growth, is that accountability and focusing the attention on yourself, learning yourself better. So one of those places we can learn is the past. We all make mistakes. We've all hurt people. We have all lived through loss. We've had people come and go into our life, and we have to remember that, places, jobs, people are all there for a reason, but some of them are just there for a season, and we need to be able to understand that things will come into your life and they will not always hang around with you forever, and you have to be able to take situations and take moments and take the lessons that are there. The past is the teacher. The present is the gift. Being in the moment, in today, takes the lessons from the past and the vision of the future. That combination keeps you so in now and locked in and ready to go and focused to where you want to go. Forgiving yourself is so important, and taking the time to look back at your life and having accountability and allowing yourself to forgive yourself. So often in our lives, we're taught to seek forgiveness from other people, from the higher powers above, like whether it's spiritual, we're always like taught as a child that we have to ask for forgiveness, that we're, someone else is going to allow us to move on. And I think that that's so dangerous as we go through life, because we have to also understand that We need to be able to find that strength and that confidence and that self-trust to know when to hold ourselves accountable for our mistakes, and also know when to let ourselves go from the mistakes of our past and to forgive ourselves and ready to move on. You have worked through and moved on and done well. That is why you are here today and watching this video and living a life. You know, we've all gone through things. We all have that. And we need to also understand that not everybody is going to be on your journey for the entirety of time. And that's okay. The jobs will change, people will change, the environment change, just like each season changes, each year is different, you know, and we need to be able to move and adapt and to grow and to understand the most important thing in the world is that you learning and growing is your life existence experience. You know, this is what we're here to do, to maximize your life experience, to grow and to learn and to share your unique gifts that you were given, and you need to bring that to the world. Let us not live in fear or shackled by what we did wrong in the past, because that will hold you back in life. That will keep you down. You know, our life is filled with ups and downs. And our brain is wired in a way that it takes, if we haven't officially learned and like taken that time to command the past, the relationship we have with the past, our brain will always trigger ourselves in a fear and an anxiety and nervous way if it feels like we're going to make the mistake again. You know, so our brain hangs on to these past traumas because it's sitting there using it as a place of, you know, it's like using it as a way to say, okay, here's our reference book. You can't grow, you haven't learned from this. And I'm not sure, because the last time we tried this, you failed and that wasn't good. And I don't like when we fail. I like when we, you know when we win, and we always want to do what we win. But we can't hide from new experiences. And we have to understand that we can't let our brain dictate that kind of fear-based mentality when we're living our lives. And we have to know that when to slow things down and say, you know what, I do trust myself, that I have learned from my past and I can move forward. And we have to understand that the past is done with and you cannot change it. So by hanging on to it and not confronting it and letting it go, you're just carrying around excess baggage, and that isn't helping you, you know, utilize and maximize the energy it takes to live in today's moment, also to move forward. And I'm not one of those people that are saying, you know, whatever happens, happens, forget about it and just move on. Because one thing that I'm really, really sure about is that bringing accountability into your life is a really fantastic way to set yourself free. Like, accountability is freedom. You know, acknowledging that you aren't perfect, acknowledging that you have made mistakes, acknowledging that you can grow and learn is a great way to free yourself into this world and to allow yourself to just be a human and not have this like idea of who you are, but actually grow to love who you are. And so ultimately, what you're doing is embracing your uniqueness. You are cultivating a way to bring more of the self-understanding and the self-acceptance and the self-love and the self-growth-minded mindset to the forefront. And when you're taking things like that to the forefront and you put yourself first, you will find that your life becomes so enriched and the relationships you have are stronger, and you can hold yourself into your communities in a way that brings a lot of positive energy, because you are confident in you and you know that, yes, I'm not perfect, but I'm here today and I'm always trying to do better, and I want things to go forward, and I want people to know that I am like you and you are like me. We are not perfect. We're just trying to be the best versions of ourselves. So if you leave a comment below, maybe you have some ideas, or there's, you know, videos you can post links to. There's tons of stuff out there about letting your past go and you know, releasing all the negatives and the positives. I think both are very, like, just as dangerous to let yourself hang around. It's just sucking your energy. You know, like we all know about people that just live in the successes of their past over and over and over and over, and they never really get to like live and enjoy into the moment, and there's no forward thought, there's no future. So I'm curious to know what things that you may encounter and what you might do to help yourself release the past. You know, I know that for myself, something that has helped me a lot is when I'm in the moment of, you know, quiet time, reflection time, you can write down what went on, what you did. Break down and write it down and see and visualize and read it. And then look at what you write down and say, okay, that's not me anymore. I'm done with that. That's okay. I can let this go. And then crumple it up and throw it away. Burn it, whatever you have to do, whatever kind of like little ceremony you want to create with taking something in the past, writing it down, taking the time to acknowledge it in the moment and to really analyze it and just free yourself of it and just be like, I am forgiving myself of these mistakes and these hardships. I am growing and I'm learning, and I cannot wait to take on new challenges with all that I've learned, because I am stronger today than I was in that moment, because I grew through the hardships. I lasted through the storm. And maybe in that storm, I lost some friendships and maybe a job or maybe even a house or a location. But in that storm, what was meant to stay, stayed. In that storm, the permanent was here and it's with me, and I'm going to take it and move forward. So finding ways to utilize your past, to maximize your present, and to harness that energy and move forward to the future you want. And have no fear that you are just like everyone else. We're out there, we're learning, we're growing, we're just trying to be the best version of ourselves. And I want you to know that I really appreciate you for tuning into this channel, and I thank you so much. Embrace your uniqueness. Let's spread it. Let's help each other grow. And like finding ways to share a bit of your story is a great way to help other people. Each one teach one, right? And thank you again. I really appreciate it. Please make sure that you subscribe to this channel, like this video, definitely leave a comment. I would love to hear from you. Thank you so much again, and I look forward to seeing you in a week.